I have to say, when I first saw the headline for the material we're covering today, I thought I was reading a tabloid.
It sounds completely absurd, doesn't it?
I mean, we're really looking at a report that a sitting U.S. Congresswoman had her staff, people paid with tax dollars, create burner accounts to boost her in a poll about the hottest women in Congress.
It sounds wild, but yeah, that is the central claim in the analysis we're breaking down. We're looking at a report from the Adam Mockler channel, and it pulls from New York Magazine, viral videos, and some very specific FOIA requests about Representative Nancy Mace.
And just to set the stage here, the goal isn't just to, gossip about some internet drama.
Right? No, not at all. The mission for this deep dive is really to use this as a case study. A case study in, I guess, brand management versus, well, reality.
The idea that there's this massive disconnect between the public persona and the digital trail.
Exactly. A verifiable disconnect.
Okay, so let's unpack that first allegation, the whole burner account thing. What exactly is the claim there?
So the New York Magazine reporting alleges that Mace directed her staff to go on Reddit.
On Reddit?
Yeah, specifically to subreddits focused on, female politicians, sometimes in swimwear, and upvote posts that praised her appearance.
And to what end? Just pure vanity.
Ostensibly, to boost her visibility, her rankings in those polls. But the source makes this really sharp contrast with what was happening legislatively at the exact same time.
You mean the Epstein files? That's a huge pivot.
Huge pivot. It's all about where the focus is. I mean, you probably remember that viral video of Mace, right? Walking out of a closed door meeting about Epstein survivors, crying for the cameras.
I do remember that. It seemed like a very human, very emotional moment.
The source argues that was the curated moment, the performance, because then they pull the voting record. And shortly after that display, Mace voted against a procedural move that would have released those very files.
But hold on. Couldn't that just be standard politics, a party line vote, or some kind of technicality?
That was her defense. Exactly. She claimed it was a routine procedural vote, but the source highlights how quickly the community notes feature on X and other critics just dismantled that.
They did?
Yeah. They pointed out her vote was the one that effectively blocked the amendment to release the files. So you see this jarring contradiction between the performance of empathy and the procedural action.
So it's the speed at which the whole story was debunked?
Exactly. And that speed is, you could argue, even more brutal in the next example the source brings up, the alcohol controversy.
This one I found genuinely confusing. She claims she had a medical condition.
Right. In an interview, Mace said she suffers from hemochromatosis. It's a genetic disorder where your body holds on to too much iron. She explicitly said that because of it, drinking alcohol would, quote, literally kill her.
Literally kill? I mean, that's a very definitive claim.
It is, but of course, the internet is an archive. So the source immediately cuts to a montage of clips.
Oh no.
Mace holding a beer saying, "I'll drink to that," cracking one open, even playing drinking games on camera.
Okay, to play devil's advocate for a second, could it be non-alcoholic beer, or maybe her condition is manageable in some way?
The source anticipates that. They cite Natalie Johnson, who was Mace's former communications director.
And what does she say?
Johnson went on the record calling the medical claim a brazen lie. She alleged that Mace had interns go out and fetch liquor for her during workdays.
Wow, for a former spokesperson to say that publicly, that's rare.
It really is, and it suggests a pattern, which leads to the final piece of evidence the source compiles.
Yeah.
The back the blue contradiction.
The airport incident.
The airport incident. Mace runs heavily on a pro-law enforcement platform. She publicly claims she was unsafe at Charleston Airport because of a security mix-up with a car.
But the FOIA request showed something different.
Completely different. The police report with witness statements suggest Mace was the one escalating things, allegedly using profane language against the officers.
So publicly, she backs the blue, but privately, the record suggests she's swearing at them over a car delay.
That's the allegation. And when you stack these things up, the vote versus the crying, the medical claim versus the drinking, the slogan versus the police report, The source argues it's a total PR disaster.
It seems like the common thread is that these aren't just little spins. They are claims that are very easily disproven.
Precisely. And the takeaway from the source is that in the digital age, you just cannot maintain a conflicting narrative. Every moment can be recorded, and every disgruntled former staffer is a potential leak.
A curated persona just collapses under the weight of the evidence.
It does. It completely falls apart.
It really forces you to rethink how we consume political media. If that curated persona is so fragile now, is that entire strategy just obsolete?
Well, that's the big question I'll leave you with, isn't it? In a world of total surveillance and digital archives, does authenticity, even if it's messy and flawed, become the only political strategy that can actually survive a fact check?
Something to consider the next time you see a perfectly polished campaign ad. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.